So this is my fourth video diary. It is June 14th, 2018, and these are going to become more frequent now that I'm out of school. I just put one out the other day, as for those of you who have seen it now, but I feel the need to just vent again and get my feelings out because I had kind of a rough night last night, which I haven't had in a while. So last night, after watching Divergence, which I don't know if any of you who are watching this have seen the movie or watched the book, know what it's about, but it's all about these specific people called divergence, and the town is divided into factions based on personality in order to keep the peace. And then you have the factionless, those who were chosen for a specific faction, or they don't fit into a faction. And then you have the divergence, which are a mixture of more than one faction, and they are very rare within the community. And the government, depending on which faction is currently the government, tries to annihilate them because they are different. This series is also by the same writer who wrote The Hunger Games, which follows something similar but not exact. But I was realizing last night that the only reason why Matt and I are in this situation is because we did not conform to their mold. We did not conform to his parents' mold. They would be the government, thus we are the citizens. We do not conform to their mold, therefore they go after us. Which, I never thought about it in that way before. Because we don't conform to their mold, they feel the need to separate us. Technically, Matt and I would classify as divergence because we think in more than one way. Granted, I lean more one way than the other, but I do think in multiple different ways, actually. About 3 different ways, to be completely honest here. Because I have rational, irrational, and then logical, and idealistic. I think in all 4 ways, and each of them have a different thing they're after. Now, technically that makes Matt and I the divergence, so they're after us. And I know I probably sound crazy doing this comparison, because it's like, wait, Caitlin, they have nothing to do with each other, why are you thinking this way? Well, as you probably all know, I am very good in English, so I think very literally, and I look a lot into things. And reading some things help me realize things. Reading and watching things help me realize. I had my first large bout of separation anxiety last night. For those of you who don't know what separation anxiety feels like, or have never had the idea to understand what it is pretty much you have a heavy heart and your mind is racing back with either memories of you and that person, you're thinking of your future with that person, but that person is not there, or you cannot speak with that person, or at least that's what separation anxiety is like for me. I mean, that's also coupled with my normal daily anxiety that I go through all the time, wondering if I'm ever doing things right, if I'll be accepted by this, that, or the other thing. Pretty much, it led to me. I broke down and cried last night because I needed relief. I was feeling so upset to where I broke down and cried. and like I physically had to speak to myself, like as if Matthew were talking to me. I physically even asked myself. I said to myself, like as if he would say to me, Caitlin, what's wrong? I can't help you unless you tell me. Like, pretty much I talked myself out of it, like as if, he were actually there. I know a lot of people don't know what that feeling is like, to talk yourself out of it, like as if you're another person. I, on the other hand, know it very well. I sometimes even speak to the bear he gave me at night to try and, like, help me sleep. After I finally finished, I mean, even while I was crying. And whenever I cry and I'm searching for hope, for some reason I just started praying, and it kind of eased me a little bit. And after that, I snuggled up within my blanket, wishing it was him. Or wishing I was curling up to him instead of curling up to my blanket. That, I know that's a feeling a lot of long distance couples feel. Heck, I even get jealous. I mean, I'll say this: I'm a firm person of I get jealous of the people who get to see him every day, because they don't know how valuable he actually is to me. They think he's just there whenever they feel the need to use him, or want him, or need him for something. He's just there. And then there's me, where he's more valuable to me because I don't see him every day. I don't see him every day. I don't get, like, currently right now I cannot speak to him, so it's even harder. And I know a lot of long distance couples probably know what I'm talking about. The book right now is at like 377 reads, and I just can't believe it. Granted, a lot of people read the first chapter and they brush it off, but it's like, you know, even if they only did read the first chapter, that's good enough for me. I mean, if you stick around for the first chapter, they at least read the beginning of our story. The book is on hiatus because I just haven't felt like writing. Even though some of my readers are probably going to beg me for a new part. I've never been physically begged to write a part, which is a good thing. I don't get any comments on the book, but I wonder if that's because it's bad or if it's because it's good. I want to say it's good. I mean, I have 55 stars on it. It was trending for a little bit. About 3 weeks it was trending, and I was happy about that. So it's like, yeah, but last night I will honestly say this: I miss the little things about you, Matthew. I miss being able to see your smile and see you genuinely happy. I miss being able to make you happy. I know I've been the reason you smiled and laughed a lot of times, because, well, you're the reason why I would smile and laugh a lot. And pretty much just our times together were always spent just us being happy. I wish I could have found you sooner and loved you longer than I already have. I mean, honestly speaking, we deserve some good after all the shit we've been through. And yes, I know that's a lot to say, but we have been through a lot the second half of our relationship. And I'm pretty sure we were both expecting this. I mean, you and I, we've weathered the storm. We've shared our umbrella. Surprisingly, that umbrella hasn't been blown away yet. This time I know can't be easy for you either. I feel so bad that I don't hear much out of you now. People hear a lot more out of me than they hear about you. I know that. And you know, Luann does relate things back to me. She understands me so much. The one thing that will forever confuse me is how, now I understand Luann's family, but how I can be so much like Luann, and they armly accept her in some ways, but they push me away. I forever want to know why they push me away. I've always wanted to know what is bad about me. Like, what caused them to think that I was such a bad person? Where did I give them the bad impression? I'm hoping this is all over by the time I graduate in 2019. I mean, in 2020. You graduate in 2019. I really am hoping that by the time 2020 rolls around, you and I will be back together. And now that I think about it, once 2020 gets here, we will have been together 4 years. I can't believe it. Time is passing me by. I am in my last 2 years of high school now. I'm halfway through. And I really want to know what you felt like when you hit the halfway point in high school. I really do. And I know you wanted to get out of there as quick as possible. Me on the other hand, I know I'll graduate. I'm just scared too, because school has been my safe haven for so long. And to leave it after 2 years, after these 2 years are up, is going to feel crazy to me. I mean, I know you most likely didn't cry on your graduation day. I mean, I saw pictures your graduation day. I felt upset when I couldn't be there. But it's I keep trying my best for you and for myself. I've been getting a lot more rest than I should take now. I've been starting to take care of myself more because, I finally figured out how to actually care for myself. Granted, I definitely still need to emotionally, but I've initiated a lot more self-care than what I used to. I used to neglect a lot of my self-care, but now I realize it's a large part of why I've gotten better. I felt weak when I cried last night. I definitely thought I was weak. You on the other hand would say I'm a very strong person. The last ever reason you gave to me on why you said I was strong was because I know when to cry. And I go through things that would eventually break you. I mean, I really want to know, has this situation broke you? Because I really hope it hasn't. Of course, you don't go through the same thing I do, but you don't experience it in the same way I do, but that's besides the point in perspective. Um, but I just, these past few days, I really have missed you. And it's when I'm, like, I haven't been busy these past 2 days, but I miss you all the time without realizing it. Um, I know the first time I went through this, I missed you so much. Um, I used to actually lash out verbally. Like, I would lash out angrily because I missed you so much and I was just mad at everything. Like, I felt like everything was the reason why you and I could not be with each other. Um, Granted, I have had a little bit of that this time, but it hasn't been as bad. And that's all I really have for tonight. Um, just remember that no matter where you are, no matter what you're doing, you'll always be in my heart. You'll always be with me, with the necklaces, earrings, and bracelets that you gave me that I wear. Um, and above all of what I've said, just remember, I love you with all my heart, Matthew, and there is forever no denying that. Whether you like it or not, you're stuck with me. This is Caitlin signing off for the night. Good night, Matthew. I love you.